Percy and the Carnival. It was a beautiful morning on the island of Sodor. All the engines were very excited. It was the day of Sir Topham Hatt's Carnival. Children would be coming from far and wide. There was to be a special visit from the Chinese dragon. Percy was delighted. He thought the Chinese dragon was the most exciting thing of all. Sir Topham Hatt arrived at Tidmouth. He had come to give the engines their jobs. Edward was to pull the carousel, Henry the roller coaster, Gordon the carnival people, Toby the bumper cars, James and Emily were to pull the Ferris wheel. Boomed Sir Topham Hatt. Asked Percy hopefully. Ordered Sir Topham Hatt. He added. Sir Topham Hatt left, and all the engines were excited. All except Percy. He sighed, and he watched his friends leave for their exciting jobs. Percy felt very left out. Percy chuffed sadly over to the coaling plant. This didn't feel like an important job at all. When Percy arrived, he could see a long line of freight cars. Grumbled Percy. Percy buffered up and pulled out of the depot. Percy stopped at a signal by his school. Toby puffed past pulling a load of bumper cars. The children in the playground clapped and cheered. Then Edward chuffed by with the carousel. The children cheered even louder. Percy thought that Toby and Edward were having a wonderful time. Then an idea flew into his funnel. He wished, so Percy didn't deliver the coal. He left his coal cars and he steamed after his friends as quickly as he could. Toby and Edward stopped at a red signal. Percy puffed up alongside. He tooted hopefully. Puffed Toby. Chuffed Edward. Percy was disappointed. Further up the line, Percy saw Emily and James. They were taking the Ferris wheel. Tooted Percy. Percy caught up with James and Emily. Puffed Emily. Emily and James were having a splendid time, but James and Emily didn't need help either. Percy was upset. Then Percy saw Gordon waiting at a junction. Gordon was pulling the carnival people, but he didn't need any help either. Percy saw Henry crossing the bridge. Henry's happily pulling the roller coaster. Finally, Percy saw Thomas waiting at a signal. He was carrying the fireworks and the Chinese dragon. Gasped Percy. But even Thomas didn't need any help. Percy was more disappointed than ever. Then there was trouble. Percy had spent so much time trying to help everyone else that he hadn't delivered any coal. Percy saw James. He looked very sad. He wished. Cried Percy. Percy knew what he had to do. He had to pick up his cards and deliver the coal as quickly as he could. Percy wished all over the island, delivering coal to his friends. Soon everyone's boilers were bubbling and their pistons were pounding. The engines were back on track. Everything was ready just in time. Percy finished his last delivery of coal and arrived at the carnival as the fireworks began. The rockets soared. The band played and the Chinese dragon danced. All the children were delighted. Tooted Percy.